What's good, Miss Young? This is vlog 2.5, I think. It's kind of hard to keep track because I forgot the last one, and that kind of hit my grade pretty hard. So I still have an A, but still, that one hit the grade pretty hard, and I'm trying my best not to forget it. I put a reminder on my phone to remind me each Saturday to take a vlog. Today's Monday, though. Monday of Thanksgiving break. I don't know what the date is, but it's good to have a break after a long time, so anyway, yeah, this is vlog. Just decided to change things up a little bit, taking it outside my community locality. Yeah, so okay, where to start? The IRRs, right? So since I didn't get to talk about it last vlog, I'll talk about it today. So obviously I was absent the day most of our class chose our groups, so I was kind of left behind. And after I came back, it felt like kind of like an NBA draft, So I should make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, where it felt like no one really needed you, but you kind of needed to be somewhere anyway. So that was a little weird. And then, so we finally got paired up. I wanted to work with Lanuka because I know that he has a very good work ethic, and he's very diligent when it comes to work, and he always gets it done. So that's obviously a person you want to have on your team. You don't want to keep talking to him about getting his things done or getting his shit together. So we got that pretty good. And Carolina was another one. So we haven't worked with her ever, really, me or Lanuka. So that was like something new we wanted to try, and we are. So it was just the three of us, me, Lanuka, and Carolina. And now, when we were working, first, it was a very tenacious process at first to choose our research question, because Carolina really wanted to do something related to education, and she was so fixated on hands-on learning and the different types of learning methods or learning mechanisms that a lot of these countries use that could be an effective learning method. And me and Lanuka were we weren't keen on the idea at first, because obviously in Lang we were having the education debates, and I felt like we already knew a lot about the topic, and it would not be a good topic for us to research. So anyway, as we were going through the process, we did make a question about the education topic, and then we realized that it's not a good idea, because you see all these different countries and they keep trying these different education mechanisms, and then all their evidence kind of backfires on us. So our research kind of took a hit, as there was like no way. It felt like it was a complete blockade, Iron Curtain over Europe, Iron Curtain over our research. And then we went back to one of my first ideas, which is about cryptocurrency and how we could establish a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency. And then once we did start that phase of the project, things started to flow a little bit better, cleanly. And so we decided to break it up into different lenses, which was going to be our economic, environmental, and political lens, to talk about how we can establish a regulatory framework for the growth of cryptocurrency, as it's still a very new thing going on. And so what we did was, like we said, one thing we did find out about our research was it's very hard to find academic articles or research papers in EBSCO or JSTOR, given that it's such a new thing. So me personally, and Lanuka and Carolina, we all had to go to Google Scholar, and there we had to get like pieces of a book, or we did find some really good scholarly articles. And given that we all had to go to Google Scholar, it kind of made it so that all of us kind of we had some overlaps in our articles, which is kind of neat, but at the same time it kind of reduces the variation down. So that was like the minor hurdle that we did have, which we did overcome. So it's pretty good. And then as we go into the writing process, it's kind of really difficult to find all those articles that really match our research criteria. So I kind of wanted to do the annotated bibliography, the one that we did previously. So for each article, you had 2 to 3 paragraphs talking about the author, talking about the main idea, main point, everything, you know. But then it turned out that some of our research paper was like 15, 12 pages long. And it was going to be a very, very hard thing for us to do, especially for me, given that week went pretty busy. I also got a thumb injury that week, and I had the SAT, so it was a little hard. But then we did do. I was able to come up with a good list of good 6 or 7 sources. I know it's not the amount we wanted. I wanted personally, but it was what was available, and whichever fitted best with our topic. So yeah, you know, it was due last Monday. So, you know, Sunday, I did the most obvious thing to do. Started writing my paper at 8 p.m. Finished it at around 2:30 a.m. And it was pretty good, you know, given how I executed it. Obviously, from now on, in the future at least, my main goal would be to not start it that late, even though my schedule was a little busy. That's one thing I should not do. And I mean, it turned out great. I mean, the paper was fine. Lunuka read it. It was all good. Fun fact, he started it pretty late like me too. So it was like at 12 a.m. that me and Lunuka were both awake, and then we're like chatting in this Google Docs saying how we should have not procrastinated, and we should have like started the writing process like normal, like earlier. So, I mean, yeah, that was that. And then we got a research paper done. And then Monday when you come into class, we were starting to start the TMP, the team multimedia presentation. And this is when we decided, okay, we're each going to do the slides on a different lens that we researched on, right? So like I did the economical lens, so I'm going to do a lens anything but economical. And Carolina did a political lens, and she was going to do anything but political. Same with Lunuka, who did environmental and is going to do something other than environmental. So, for some private reasons, which I'm not going to disclose, Carolina wasn't there for the bulk of last week. But when me and Lunuka were working on it, I was really frustrated because I don't want to, how to say this, dump garbage on my teammate, because that's not what you're supposed to do. But I think Carolina's research paper was very poorly written, and I decided not to talk to her about this when she was away, for private reasons, of course. But the main point is, your research paper should be informative. You should be spewing research, right? Like, you're talking about experts' opinions. You're talking about a bunch of other things that people with PhDs that have written about the topic. And I just didn't feel that anywhere. And I feel like in a research paper with that much worth, which you're going to be presenting to your peers, to you, the teacher, I feel like a paper should be written in a much more academic way, less of opinion. And there was a lot of grammatical mistakes, and some pretty severe grammatical mistakes, which kind of convolutes the meaning of the entire passage. I mean, like, I'm trying to read a paragraph and I can't understand jack. I think that's a little too harsh. I can't understand literally anything. And so what basically ended up happening all of last weekend, going into the weekend, I had to look at her sources, do some extra research on my own about that topic, which basically at this point I'm more informed that I could write an IRR about the political lens. I mean, so it is what it is. It's not desirable, but you know, when you're a team, you work together, you rise together, you fall together. So we gotta keep the team together, and we gotta rise together now. And so this week, me and Lenuka, we plan to restructure the presentation a little bit. Carolina did put some information about her slide in there, so I really do appreciate that she still worked on this, even though she was in a bad condition. But, overall, the presentation wasn't the smoothest. Clearly needed a lot of work. I'm under a bridge. It's loud. But yeah. And as it goes presenting-wise, we present the Tuesday we come back. And I'm looking forward to it. Because I really miss not being prepared for that one day they had this seminar in Lang for my district swim meet. But with all these debates, dang, it's loud. All these debates we've had over the social media debates, the debates from Lang, I feel like I've gotten more comfortable and confident when it comes to speaking my point. And I feel like when it comes to presenting to your peers, one thing I'm going to take from the mini mock is, one, not to keep my hands in my pocket because it makes me look like I'm disinterested, which is clearly not the case. And another stupid thing I do is I'll be looking at the board, which kind of gives out the impression that I'm reading things off the board. But really, if you look at our video from the mini mock, right, I'm really elaborating really well on the topics that we researched, And I feel like that's one thing to grow apart, like not keeping the hands in the pocket and then being engaged with the listener, which in case is the peers and Miss Young, right? So I feel like making eye contact, that's one. Talking confidently, having a stern voice, and just not having continuity in your voice. Yeah, that's mainly it. Because you want to be confident in a way that people know what you're talking about. Like now you're not just yapping about something random. And I feel like in this presentation, I really hope to achieve that, and I'm very optimistic that I will achieve that. And same with Linuka, we've both grown very similarly over the course of taking this class. My main hope was to get better at public speaking, because that's one thing I'm extremely nervous when it comes to talking to a crowd of people. And as you progress in life, as you get older, as you probably will take higher positions in your work, that's one thing you don't want to do, is you don't want to be weak in your talking. Like, you need to talk to impress the people, whether it's a board of directors, whether it's your college advisors, whether it's your own teacher, right? That's one thing you want to be really good at, is talking. Presenting yourself through words. And I feel like this course has really helped me so far with my ability to talk. And like right now, right, I'm out in the open, and then I'm passing a lot of people going by. And in the past, I would have felt really afraid to talk like this in public. People might think I'm a fool, I'm stupid, I'm whatever, and they might cringe a little bit on a conversation. But frankly, I really don't care, because I'm talking and I'm comfortable talking to the camera. So that's one thing that's one of the many things that I've improved over the course of the year. And there's many, many more adventures that's going to come throughout the year that I'll look back upon, like these vlogs. That's the main reason why I decided to put it on YouTube, because, I want to look back on my evolution throughout the year. And, you see your teammates all growing, and that's the beauty, I wouldn't have had this opportunity if I was in India, So so I'm really thankful for where I am. And, it's a nice lake. Yeah. I still take more walks like these, honestly. Haven't stepped foot in grass in a hot minute, so. Anyway, once you come back for the presentation, we decided we'll wear something nice, something formal. And, yeah. Spew our research. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I know this vlog's kind of long, 14 minutes, but yeah. So pleasant. It's also Thanksgiving week, so anyone who's watching, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a good time with your family, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.